What is up, guys? It is Shorts Gaming here. It has been. I could always check later. I don't know exactly how long it's been. I think my last video was probably my series I was gonna do over the summer, and I got lazy, which is, you know, story of my life, and you all know that already. But, anyways, I have right here in front of me a little article I was gonna talk about and discuss about my opinions and such. It's all about Fallout 4. Anyways, I recently came out. I was hyped for it. My friends were hyped for it. One of my friends, uh, against the decision of his parents, he decided to, go out, get it, stay home, play it all the time, and he's been coming back more now, but that doesn't matter. Alright, so the article is called Fallout 4's graphics are not its biggest problem, readers feature. So it is. This was posted on Metro News, and it was entertainment. Blah blah blah. Game Central for Metro.co.uk. Sunday, 22nd November 2015. Sorry, I'm kind of jittery right now. It's been a while, and I am still trying to get used to the whole talking thing. I'm gonna get a drink. Alright, I'll read it down. I'll put the article itself down there. I'll try to skim through it if I can, otherwise, I'm going to talk about it completely. And whenever I come across something I want to leave a comment on, I'll do that, and I'll tell you when I stop the whole reading part. A reader gives his own critique of Bethesda's. I should be able to say that, right? Anyways, a blockbuster, and claims its dumbed down gameplay is a bigger issue than its graphics. So, right here, number one, the graphics for the better half of it are way more enhanced than what Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas was. And that's the comparison they'll make. And I'll go through that in a second. Second, I think the gameplay is somewhat dumbed down, but dumbed down. But to an extent, the whole AI, like the AI of every mob, or I don't know, I should say mob, but enemy you face, the AI has increased quite a bit, actually. Like the whole Deathclaw thing, I remember I was watching this one YouTuber who was talking about how the enemies now they go from left to right. I'm trying to remember the exact words. I'm not good at words, obviously. But anyways, they're a lot smarter. They'll run from you if you go into a spot that they can't get to, and I think that's a big improvement when it comes to AI. All across the internet, there's been a lot of talk about how the graphics Fallout 4 are disappointing. Once again, I said they're not disappointing. Maybe some of the changes haven't been, like, some of the changes aren't really that changed. Like the graphics, they haven't been changed entirely, but they're not bad. I wouldn't say they're disappointing, and they were changed from the last few games. And doesn't look much new from Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Going through. He says much bigger issues than that. The whole graphics issue. Fallout 4 is very similar, disappointingly similar to its predecessors, but it's also subtly dumbed down and less ambitious. Where he says this, the next part, I'm going to leave a comment after this part, but many of the more complicated features have been removed to make the game more accessible and others added to make it easier. I think this was kind of done for new gamers to the whole Fallout series, maybe, but there's only one thing that comes to my mind when I think it's dumbed down and one of the features were taken out. I talk to a lot of my friends about this, and it's the whole fact that you don't have to repair weapons anymore. And honestly, that makes it really, 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 really easy, actually. Sorry. It makes it way easier than it used to be, because after every 100 or so uses, you'd have to repair your weapon again with a ton of resources. And it's harder to get resource. I mean, that's not hard to get. Harder to get resources right now because you know how you can go to a settlement and you can just take it over, or not take it over, or maybe it is take it over. But then you can just get all the resources you want from that area, and just by holding down the center button. I don't know what it's called exactly. I have a PlayStation 4 and I've been playing with the PlayStation 4. But that's what you use to go into the workbench menu. And you just take all the resources you want from there, and you don't have to repair weapons. And that's the only thing I see as easy in any way. Alright. In years gone by, okay, said by there wrong. The idea that the complexity of games would increase at the same pace as their graphics improved was taken as read. I agree with the whole getting more difficult part. I'm sure a lot of gaming companies said that, and the games are intended to become more difficult the more they go through each generation or each game through a certain series. The difficulty is supposed to be bumped up. Sorry about that noise. Oh, my friends joined the party. No. Graphics improved as taken as read. It was barely even acknowledged that it could be any other way, as controls, interfaces, and features gradually became more and more specialized. 1 second, getting a drink. Not used to talking this much. Then the DS and Wii made it obvious how much this approach was alienating the mass market to more casual gamers. The response of most publishers and developers to the Wii phenomenon was confused, to say the least, but what they've eventually took it from it is that most game players don't want a game to be difficult, confusing, or unpredictable. Sorry for reading that whole little section right there, but I'm going to make a comment here, and that's why I was indicating why some people that are new to Fallout, or maybe some people who played Fallout before and thought it was difficult, left their opinions, and some of the games have been made just a little bit easier, but I disagree with the whole large quantity of gamers wanting a less difficult game, whether if it's like a bunch of kids or teenagers, adults, any and everybody who plays games, gamers in general. I'm sure every gamer wants more of a challenge with the next addition of content to the series that is made. Which, of course, is true of mainstream movies, TV, music, and any other form of entertainment. Less confusing, that part, the whole, yeah. The more strange or demanding a game, the less people want to play it. I'm not even going to read completely down, but it kind of starts explaining why. Wait, I'll just read it down, actually, never mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Alright. Which is fine if the game doesn't cost too much, but if you want a big budget game, it has to be the sort that lots of people are going to want to play. Publishers like EA and Activision clearly understand this, and they wouldn't dream of publishing an outlier like Dark Souls. So, people like EA, which is basically sports, mostly sports anyways, I could look and see what EA games aren't sports. I don't know if there are. I don't pay attention as much to EA as I do to Activision, and Activision is mainly more of a Call of Duty producer. It has other games, of course, but that's usually what it's known for. And they're comparing those games that have the same gameplay with every addition to the series of games that it has, which is a large collection. There's not many additions or changes, and they're comparing it to a game like Dark Souls, where everybody knows about Dark Souls, how difficult it is, and Dark Souls, it's a difficult game, and it doesn't have as much purchases as games such as EA and Activision have, and that's why they're comparing it to that. I don't know. They have previously been a bit more hardcore friendly, but with Fallout 4, they've suddenly moved the focus from role playing to first person shooting. The fact that the graphics have taken so much heat is because of the sort of people that just want to play a post apocalyptic shooter, expect graphics like Call of Duty, hence all the controversy. Now, this is where I disagree. I honestly, whenever it comes to a game, I love the gameplay. There, a lot of people, they just go on to the multiplayer, or when it comes to first person shooters, of course, or a game that has shooting in general, or nothing much of a storyline, and that's when they go into that. But me, I'm a bit different when it comes to that. I don't know why I put that in there, but I guess the larger quantity of gamers are going towards that, probably because of the whole Call of Duty getting like Black Ops 3, alright? Black Ops 3, I don't know how many purchases it has. I could always look it up. I'm not going to do that right now. But if you compare that, Black Ops 3 purchases to Fallout 4 purchases, or Black Ops 3 purchases to any other game, any other series, Black Ops to that series, Black Ops any series, you'll see that most of the purchases lie on Black Ops side due to the fact how popular and how technically how easy, that's what they'd say, easy in comparison to other games like Fallout 4, where it usually Fallout games usually lie within the storylines, but it's been more leaning towards uh, whatever. Fallout 4 still isn't a bad game, and it's more complex and involved than most other mainstream hits, but the whole series is clearly on a downward trend in terms of complexity, how hard it is, and what it asks for the player. Not that it's alone in that, as the whole of gaming is going the same way. I don't know if the whole of gaming itself is going down and making it easier for everybody. Dark Souls, it's going to stay difficult. Maybe they'll dumb it down, actually, but I don't think they'll make it easy to the point that it's easier than the first Dark Souls. And if they do that, it's going to prove that the company itself wants to go towards more mainstream type of gameplay where the gameplay is easier and you don't have to worry as much when it comes to that. I don't know why people want easier games. I always like a challenge. Even I've died so many times in Fallout 4 because of issues, and then I had to restart because of my save spot was how far back. I still find that a little bit hard. Not that I play on a hard difficulty, of course. Even though I should, it'd be more of a challenge. But that doesn't matter. But I always like a challenge. I'm pretty sure most of the people I talk to like some sort of challenge when they're playing. I mean, going through the whole thing at first at an easier difficulty might be a preference, but gameplay itself, I like it being a bit difficult. But from the publisher's point of view, it works. Fallout 4 is by far the most successful game in the series, completely justifying Bethesda's, I can't even say it right still, approach and guaranteeing the next will pursue the same goals and that other publishers will take note for their own game. From a business perspective, the dumbing down is the only sensible approach for most big budget sequels. The only question is how cleverly you go about it. So, in the whole entirety of that, there's nothing really about the gameplay itself except how it was dumbed down. He never gave any examples, which is fine because you can easily see the differences between Fallout 3 and New Vegas to Fallout 4, where there's maybe a little bit more of ease, but overall, nothing really got easier. The AI got more difficult. Uh, Maybe getting resources was easier, but you have to spend a lot more resources than you originally had to. Even even if you have a place to scavenge from, it doesn't have all the resources you need, so you still have to go out and do a bunch of quests and everything. And I still find that it's not that easy. Uh, I think that's about it for the whole Fallout thing goes, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you would, and subscribe, etc., etc., and I will see you in the next video, whether it is a gaming video or gaming article video, YouTuber analysis, which I was thinking of doing before I did this, but I decided to do a little gaming article video, and I hope you enjoyed, blah 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 blah, over and over. See you, goodbye.